Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM23 Lions. This is episode 73. 73 episodes, and this is the first time. It's March of 2029. This is the first time where we can definitively say, in the early stage of the season, that we're going to have 100% success. That we're going to have an increase, a maximum increase of the budget. Now, there's been at least one season where we didn't get that maximum increase. There's been a number of very, very close down to the wire seasons, and there's been a couple that have been semi-comfortable, but certainly not like this season. We are absolutely crushing it in the eyes of the sponsors. Now, we started with failures, and that was rough, but they were all back to back to back, right on top of each other from 22nd of January into the 5th of February. Right at the very beginning of the season, we had barely begun, and they were all low stars, so I knew we'd be okay. And our finishes weren't awful. The De Villiers one, I think he was like 6th place, and we needed a top 5. We were literally like as close as you could possibly be without hitting the mark. But since that time, we've absolutely nailed it. 4 out of 6 have been super successes. 2 out of 6 were successes, so a success rate of 100% over the last 6 races. We have just one left until we hit the sponsor signing period. It's 3 stars, but that's minor compared to the others. And we are so incredibly locked in on that 100% because of the noteworthy results. We have a full page of them already. I know the face cam is covering some of them, but let me give you a couple of highlights. Obviously, to be on this page, you're looking at a minimum of a single plus, but across the middle, across the phase where the face cam is at, there's 2 double pluses, 2 triple pluses, including all of these pluses. So there's a lot of noteworthy results. Isn't it amazing what happens when we start seeing a world tour style calendar? We have stage wins, leader's jersey at UAE. We have stage win top 5 at Paris-Nice. That's 5 pluses combined for those two. And then for Trino Adriatico, we had a stage top 3 and a top 10 overall. 3 pluses combined between those two. And then 3 pluses for our podium finish at Milano Sanremo. Therefore, with a ton of time left, many months to go, April, May, June, July, 4 whole months and a few days left, it's done. I mean, we can not have to think about it a single time the rest of the way. What does that mean for us? It means the largest increase we'll have had in the entirety of this series. We've had the same sponsor from day one with minor increases year on year. What was it, like 16K per season? We're now looking at a $27,000 advance per season. Now, one of those seasons, right, we didn't even have the super success. We only had the partial success. So we had something like an $8,000 increase. That was it. Our budget went up by $8,000 from one year to the next. And then all the other years, 16K. Now, 27 is not anything to write home about, but when we're adding 11K on top of 16K, and especially on top of 8K, that's a significant increase. That is a definite significant increase. We're talking, 160%-ish, just top of the head without doing the math. It's a big boost. That's going to add up over a couple of seasons in a pretty healthy manner to push us towards 200K when we were only just barely above 120. Now, an additional 27K really isn't that much to write home about. It's one salary. It's one good rider salary, and it's definitely not an amazing rider salary. One of the only good things that we can rely on at the moment is the simple fact that there just aren't amazing riders outside of Girmay, who is way beyond our budget right now. He is, our current $123,000 budget. That's about the kind of salary that he is going to demand himself. So we can have Girmay and 0 teammates, or we have a whole team without Girmay. 150K does not get us into the territory of affording Girmay. We're nowhere near that phase. if we get to the point where we have any riders in the pool that we have developed that are going to become something along the lines of Germay, there's no hope keeping him. But with a large sum of guys at 4.5 stars and a single rider at 5-star, there's nothing crazy expense-wise for us at the moment. But that steady increase to budget year after year after year is going to allow us to fill out a squad that can handle World Tour a little bit better, can afford to have some weaker guys that we're trying to develop, and or maybe at some point actually get to the point spend some money on a development team where it's more or less a wash on having an extra 10 guys or so, because the cost added into a cheaper salary combined makes for about the same as what it would be to have 10 extra guys on the team. The Classic season definitely starts off easier and gets progressively harder over time, and this has got to be one of the easiest of the Classics out there. Now, length, yeah, it's long. It's just about 250 kilometers in length, and it has cobbles, and it has undulation, but overall it doesn't have much undulation, and overall it doesn't have many cobbled sectors, just 5. But the one we've been through so far, it's a 5-star cobbled sector. It just wasn't very long, and it was at an early phase of the race. We've got a small breakaway, just 4 riders already within 5 minutes now. We're going to go ahead and get water for the second of 3 times we're going to need to do it today. And we're definitely into our period of undulation. For now, though, race is pretty easy, pretty straightforward. And here's the race situation for our riders. Same group that we brought to the previous Classics, almost, just about. Mason Samuel's getting a day off today. I'm really trying to not overload his calendar here to set him up to be our team leader for some key races later on in the year, which means a lot of the success we've had so far this season has come without Mason Samuels, and that's been a very good thing as the gap cuts down to 4 minutes to the front 4, and we're down to 85k, so we are going to have to focus in a little bit here fairly soon. Only one rider in red today, only one rider with a negative race day condition. It's Ansa. He is one of my sprinters and would have been a protected rider, but because of the race day condition draw for him, we've switched it up. He's going to serve as a domestique, and Bosco's been promoted into Ansa's spot. The nice thing about having more sprinters than we had previously, even though the quality is not necessarily there yet for us, but having more guys puts us in a better state. Ooh, hello, 6 cobbled sectors. I did not know this one was coming up. Field very well could split here, and does. Bosco's in that front group, but it's such a small group, and now we're looking at just 30. And I've got all 30 in it, but the rest are still coming together. It's still early enough. 67k to go that guys aren't too worried about it, but they are suddenly deciding it's time to accelerate, and it was the next few that I was thinking was going to be that time where the race was going to pick up a little bit. Really, there's about 3 phases of undulation, and that just wrapped up the second phase, with the first and second phase kind of being back-to-back right on top of each other, or one larger phase, one might argue. But as for the cobbles, here is the most sectors with a back-to-back-to-back. Here we go, into number 1. Very short, very sweet, but very tough, 5 stars. Here we go again, hitting it another time. Coming back, what, is that the other direction? Here we go again. 3 sectors just like that, right on top of each other. We've hit it. Are we squeezing in another here in a second? No. Okay, we turn the other direction away from it. I see. Alright, well that is now the majority of the cobbles and the majority of the undulation already behind us. Team looking really strong. We actually got a positive draw today. The expectations for today was a plus 12 net as a team, and we've drawn a plus 16. So we're in rarefied air, and really outside of one rider, it's good for everybody. Plus 2 is the minimum. We've got 2 plus 5s and a plus 4. That's excellent. It's excellent for us. That's going to give us a real shot today. Hitting the final undulation and final cobbled sector. Let's go ahead and make sure our foot is down to hold position, because this very well could split once again. Banneberg, 1.2k, 6%. Basically 2 climbs, 1 cobbled sector that we need to navigate. Big acceleration. Bosco holding just fine at the front. Ansa is looking weak. Bosco's looking a little tired. We're okay. Okay, that's 1 climb. Only 1 rider out the back. Kemmelberg, 1.1k, 6.8%. Short, very steep at the top, and then cobbled down the back. I think it's down the back, just as you go over the top. Ansa. Hold on. It's also 1k, 5-star. And you see the big push. It's just near the top, yeah. That's going backwards really fast there. And we do see a little bit of splits in the field here, but not anything significant. De Villiers left alone, but we're now at 47 in the peloton, 28k to go. Did I get water the final time? I think we have enough to make it there. I don't know if we did. I think I forgot to get water the final time, but I don't mind so much. See a high tempo, split field, breakaways almost done. Back end yo-yoing. Second group makes contact, 20k to go. Now, Ansa's out of this thing. Focus on the rest of these guys. And they are holding position just fine. 20k. I kind of want Bosco to be part of the system. That's why I'm not protecting De Villiers right now, but that means we don't need to be protecting the likes of Daniels. Actually, it's Kareem we don't need to be protecting. Switching that up. Okay, attempted attacks. Classic Skies going for it, thinking that they're the only ones with energy left. And the field looks like it just sat up big time. Big time sat up. We're not going to give them that chance. I'll start at a 99, but that's just to make sure that these guys don't break away. And there you go, they already sit up. Other than one, Lavelle backing off. 89, I think is a good tempo. Gets us out front, gets us set, doesn't drain too much energy out of these guys, and there you go. So they kind of negate each other again and again. That sets us up. 13k to go, though. Still quite a bit of distance to cover. Gel for Roteus here. Havu's not going to last too long, even though he's only going to 89. We split off 30 riders, including Ansa, so that's good. 11.2k. Those were guys that just couldn't handle the speed. Havu is done. On to Roteus here. Inside 10k, we'll start going to 90 now. Keeping a gap on the 30 behind. They are holding. In fact, slightly stretching now. Yeah, we've added about 8 seconds to it, so we're pulling away from those guys. 7k. Gonna accelerate a little bit. Kareem could definitely get us towards the end. Let's get his gel. 5.8. Speeding up a little bit more with Roteus here. 5k. Definitely speeding up some more now. Gel for the rest of the guys. Okay, red bar is gone. Roteus here is nearly done. 3.7. Now full gas. The rest of the way. Kareem. Tempo. 2.9. His sprint. 2.4. Bosco. His sprint. We are set perfectly, but there's guys that have insane pace here. Insane speed that we're just not going to match. But if we can get anywhere near a podium, it's going to be fantastic. And we are going to get a podium. Vanderpool's going to claim victory. But De Villiers gets second place ahead of Philipsen. Ahead of Philipsen. De Villiers, a 77-76 sprint. base for Phillipsen is an 8382, which means it's an 87, 86. We're 10 points behind him, and we just beat Phillips into the line, and Van Aert. Daniel's got 5th, so we got 2 guys in the top 5th. Big points once again. Laporte, Delay, Schuster, Koish, Van Veenendaal. Did I get anybody else? Bosco's 16th. Kareem is 19th. Good added points there for those two. Rotesier was 29th. Havu was 34th for maybe a couple more points for us. That's a good result. That is a very good result for Gent Wevelgem. We weren't in the top 10 list. We were nowhere near the top 10 list. I knew we could crack the top 10, but I did not think we could crack the podium. I did not necessarily think we could crack the top 5, so hell yeah. Too bad we couldn't also beat Vanderpool and claim victory, but I expect no victories from our sprint team, and we continue to surprise and get awfully freaking close. We're on to Dwars, Vlaanderen. To me, I like to call it Baby Flanders race. Definitely more cobbles. Definitely some undulation. Not the same as the Ronde van Vlaanderen. Won't be easy. Definitely going to be a harder race than what we just had for Gent Wevelgem. Also, as we have essentially the same field on back-to-back days, for me, I didn't really bring the same team to this one. Some of the same riders, but I definitely rotated some guys. We got some races that just finished up, and so it cleared up options on selection. And some of the guys selected not looking great today. Benuna is one of those who just crashed. He gets up, fortunately able to continue on. -3 for him, -3 for Bosco, -4 for Havu. 2 of those guys were in the race yesterday and have expectations, positive expectations, but not today. Very much not today. You see Benuna is struggling to get back forward again. 100k to go. Let's send Benuna to get the water now. You could almost not quite get to the end of the race without having to go get water another time. But there's definitely some tougher undulation. There's definitely, well, I'd say the undulation is similar to Gent Wevelgem. I think what we're really facing is tougher longer cobbled sectors. More difficult placement of cobbled sectors. So that's the big one to watch out for. You see Benuna. But Benuna has not only given up on getting water, but he's given up on just racing, period. He's at the back of the freaking grid. What the hell just happened, dude? You are protecting our leader for the day, Janssen, and you are getting water. Now it's 80k to go. It might actually just work out here. Bosco, Mullebron, 75's already not even cutting it. Big splits in the field. Get these guys set to an 85. Benuna is still trying to get water, but he's in the group of 101 back here. Maybe they make contact before he gets back up there. 60 riders off the front. Small gap to a entire peloton chasing, and now it has made contact. Benuna is trying to make progress through the field. This is not a good time for that, though, as he's got such a poor cobble rating, and today anyway, poor climbing rating, poor ratings, period. Still trying to get Bosco and Mullebron, as we've once again lost contact and once again get forward. He's gotten 2 riders cleared, and Mullebron suddenly... Man, this is just weird how this is going. Mullebron was right there with Benuna. Benuna is not faring well as a leader today, and actually Mullebron probably just needs to ditch him and get on with his own thing. Bosco was ahead of these guys and somehow was suddenly behind them. Put all 3 of them on auto, and with 60k to go, we're suddenly down to 4 riders. Havu, desperately, we need to get water. Small peloton at the moment is going to make that task a bit easier. No cobbles for a while is going to make that task easier, and we don't have to do it again the rest of the day. Hopefully he can get back to the front here before something happens. Sad that we've lost Benuno, Bosco, and Mullabron, but we still have 4 guys. Still have a breakaway of 6. That's what it started as. Still have an advantage, but just 2 minutes now. That was the last big undulation of the day, last big hill climb. We still have, what, 4 cobbled sectors? Yeah, a couple little hills, like right here. You can almost ride the momentum of the downhill swing to get up over the top of that without really feeling it in the legs too much. I was going to have to gel fairly soon. He's not going to last too long. We want to protect Janssen, though, as the leader. Kareem and Careless should be fine on their own as leadouts. We're down to 18. We've seen another split in the field. Somebody lost contact. Can this gap open? Speaking of, it's not blinking red. There's no blink of red, but it's cobble rating that's suddenly seeing our 4 guys lose contact. And or not, because he was protecting someone. There you go. Put Havo at the back. Maybe he hangs on. I don't see this coming back together, by the way. The pack. I can see us regaining contact, and we do. And you see a few guys dropping off there. They're going to get dropped, and they do get dropped. Careless has used up all of his red bar. We want him to hang on, and he does hang on. 36k to go. We're going to sit on now. So now it's just 11 in the peloton, which is insane. We've got 3. Havu got dropped. He did not make it. He's back with the chase group of 29. Looking at what we have at the front of the field. Those 3 almost back to the chase group. And they are back to the chase group now. So, of course, we are here. There's Lafell with his 78 flat and 81 cobble rating. Semi-capable as a sprinter. Watson, 73 cobble, keeping him to the front. Svestad Bardsing, 73 flat. Amazing, he's still here. He must be on a really strong positive race day condition. Mahorich is here. Somebody's dropping to the back here that we just missed coverage of. We're connecting. That was a breakaway rider. He went straight out the back. He's been dropped. Mahorich did just overtake a couple guys, though. He's got great ratings. Herzog, favorite for the day. Seneschal, definitely a favorite. Van Aert, the other big favorite for the day. And Philipsen. Now, I know I missed a guy or 2. There's Van Tricht, certainly one of the favorites. 80 sprint for him. And Lavelle, and we dropped some more riders. A couple more guys out the back. Like Svestad Bardseng, and what's left of a chase group that does not include Havu. Havu has been well dropped. So we've got 10 chasing 4. The 4 only have 26 seconds. They're going to be caught. They're going to get dropped. We've got 3 guys set up for today's top 10. We've got a near 2-minute advantage over the chase group. If that comes down, then Careless can take charge and push forward. But the cobbled sectors are nearly done, meaning we've just about got ourselves set up for sprints. And there's one of the final 2 cobble sectors right there as we make contact with 2 of the front guys. We've caught 3 of the 4 now. They are still here. We're not pushing as hard at the moment. 17k to go. I don't want to push too hard with 17k. I'd like to have Careless for kind of an early lead out and then use Kareem. But here we go. It's on. Mahorich, Herzog. Velens was the last one off the front, and it's Van Aert. Yeah, Lavelle trying to attack and or chase. That splits off the field a little bit, maybe? No. It's still 14 riders. We have not dropped anyone yet. We just have 3 different guys off the front, 3 different guys still in contact. So they've somehow saved something in the tank as we catch Velens, the last breakaway rider. So these are your 3 guys on the attack. Careless, not going to last much longer, but that's okay. We'll have 2 guys still. Another attack, this time Lavelle. And we've brought it back together. Entering the final cobbled sector, and Careless is done. Kareem. 10k. Careless, try to follow. No, don't you dare. He nearly broke Jansen. And riders get dropped. It's now a front 9. Front 9, we have Van Aert, Herzog, Philipsen, Lavelle, Seneschal, Von Tricht. The big favorites. They're all still here. -1. We did leave behind Mohoric. And he is getting left behind quite quickly. And we've now left behind Careless and Seneschal. We don't want to help Seneschal. Go ahead and work together for an 8th, 9th potential. And we've got 2 guys left. Kareem still leading it out, 6k to go. We're done with all the cobbles. We don't need to be pushing harder. We've already split the field. But we could still potentially put a couple of these guys under a little bit of threat, a little bit of stress. Folks, we are one position away from a top 5. We've got guaranteed 6th and 7th at the moment. 3k to go. Gel. 2k to go. 1.9 starting to accelerate for Kareem. 1.5, 99. 1.2, Kareem sprinting. Jansen sprinting. We will beat one rider for 5th place. Too much talent. Philipsen, Von Tricht, Van Aert. I mean, they all have an 80+ sprint. Herzog, then Jansen, Lavelle, Kareem. But it's a 5 and a 7. Here comes Careless for 8th. Ahead of Seneschal. I'm absent my sprinters today, folks. Absent. Jansen is not a sprinter. He's our 4th best in the discipline. So, expectations were low. This was not an A team here at Dwars Vlaanderen. This was very much a B team. It was not our strongest team. It was one of the weakest teams we could have brought to this race. But we got a top 5. We added in 2 more riders into the top 10, and then a huge drop from there. But 5, 7, 8, that's a lot of points. That is a lot of points for us. So we continue to shine. Kareem, as a Moroccan, he's got to be amassing a lot of points here. Curious to see where he's at. For one, we are still on top of the World Tour rankings week following our last check-in. Now on 5,900 points, with Samuels picking up the most. Jansen has the 2nd most, over 1,000 points now. Careless, Shimway, De Villiers, Johannes Talek, Daniels, Josh De Villiers, Banuna. Kareem is only 10th with 164 points so far this season, so he might not have what I thought he might have. But let's see where we're at for Africa. Gramai is now down to 5th. Johannes Talek has jumped him for 4th. We have the top 4 guys. We have the only 4 guys with 1,000+. Samuels has 2,000+. He's got a great total. I mean, he's got a 1/3 of our points. Samuels could be putting South Africa in a position for a training boost come January 1st, potentially, maybe. What did we just say? He's got 1,100 points so far this season. So 1,000 of those do date back to last year. We are talking about like Tour of Malaysia, 240 points lost from there. Classic Ventoux, 200 points lost from there. Right, there's a number of 2028 results there that are going to wipe away as the season goes on. So no, he doesn't already have 2,000. He's got a long ways to go on that, but guaranteed if he can get, well, don't guarantee. Don't say guaranteed. We've already seen nothing is freaking guaranteed when it comes to this year. It's all percentage. It's all a chance. You boost your chance. South Africa has 6,700 points. They're scoring a lot. Eritrea. Okay, but the one to watch out for me, other than Mason Samuels and what he could do, Shimway for Rwanda. How's his total looking for this year so far? 29, 29, 29 for his top 3 races. Norway goes away. Plumlek goes away. Vantu goes away, Slovenia goes away, and then you're down to Strada Bianchi at 48 points. That's not a lot. That is not a lot. He's got 600 plus for this season, which is more than half his total. And, we're only 3 months in versus through October the previous year, so April through October. He's definitely scoring more points than a year ago. Like, everybody scored more points. No surprise. We've got a World Tour calendar. We are scoring more points. There's more available. We're still getting good results. Not necessarily grabbing wins, but, come on. 3 guys, 4, 5, 6 guys crashing the top 10 is just accumulating a large mass of points for minor nations. South Africa and Eritrea have a higher training number than the others. So it's going to be harder for them to gain. It's going to take more. That's why Mason Samuels is probably the only one who could do something. Johannes Dalek, Germay, they're not going anywhere for Eritrea with those numbers. Mulebron with those numbers. The De Villiers, Carolus, they're not doing anything to help South Africa. We got to look at what's next. A Shimway, other than Samuels, is a big focal point. But then it's Kareem. And Kareem is jumping up the rankings, right? He just went up quite a bit. Plumlet goes away for him. That's 150 points. That leaves only 200. And some of those are still from last year, too. A couple of them. Not much. But he's not amassing high points here. Not. He's not scoring. Milano Sanremo, he only got 50. He was the lead-out guy that put us in the position that got us so much for the team overall, but not him individually. Benuna, just behind him. Is Benuna's points coming right now? He's got 90 that are going away, Qinghai Lake Road. But that's almost all. That's nearly all of his points are from 29. So he's not losing much, but 100 of those are going to go away. That still only leaves him with 200. So if Morocco's going to see a gain, it's going to take a lot more from one of those two than what we've seen so far. Those seem to be the ones that have the best chance. Ethiopia's biggest guy is Burhi, who's no longer with us. For Adangana, it's Cameroon, but he's way down the order and no longer on a team. So, yeah, I don't see if I see any nations as it is right now getting the boost at the end of the season. I think our best chance is the simple fact that we have a World Tour calendar, that we have the potential to maybe win a monument, maybe win a stage at a Grand Tour. I think winning a monument is going to be tough. I think winning a breakaway stage in the final 6 to 8 to 10 stages of a Grand Tour is our best chance. That seems to be what this year is going to be about, right? We don't need the money. We don't need the GC results. We don't have the sponsor issues. We can really, really focus in on being a breakaway specialist team where we can stick 1 to 2 guys in a breakaway on a daily basis, and especially in the final stages, go for it. See what happens. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.